The rich are getting richer at an alarming rate these days, and in the same vein, the poor are getting poorer at an equally alarming rate. The disparity between haves and have nots is growing wider and wider, and nobody seems to want to do a thing about it. And this is mainly because of the power and the clout that rich people, more often than not, millionaires and billionaires, have against everybody else. And one of the ideas being thrown out there as of late by a couple of billionaires, one of them being Warren Buffett, who I actually respect, is that the rich should be taxed more and, in fact, taxed heavily because, unlike the rest of us, they have more than enough to be taxed. If you tax a billionaire that's worth, say, $80 billion and you tax him for 10 of those billions of dollars, he still has billions of dollars no matter how you look at it. You can tax him for 20 billion, he still has 60. I'm sorry, nobody needs that kind of wealth. And it's taken some of the maverick billionaires to speak up against their peers and suggest this. Anyone that knows me knows that I do not like rich people. I despise them with a passion, mainly because I have seen the effects of rich people on society and the world. I have been screwed over by people richer than I, and I still have people to this day who are far richer than I, that I've known for many years, that have a tendency, no, regularly rub it in to make sure that us peons know that they're rich and they can enjoy their riches and the rest of us don't have it, and that's not right. And they draw my ire all the time. But this plan of taxing the rich way beyond anything that's being done now, because let's face it, the 1% in the world have so much money. It's ridiculous, and they can afford to be taxed. My whole idea of taxation is, why do you continually tax the poor and the underpaid and the disadvantaged at a higher rate than you do with the people in the 1%, or even not in the 1%, even the well-off, that can afford it? For example, someone like me that makes less than $40,000 a year, and my tax rate means that, I believe it or not, I have to start paying at the end of each annual cycle, where I should be getting something back. But more often than not, I've either broke even or been paying. Someone that earns in the over six-figure mark, so 100,000 or more, they do pay more, but because they're earning more, it's a slap on the wrist. It's a drop in the bucket. It's pennies compared to what happens to me. And plus, a lot of those people in the six figures, they come from families with multiple incomes, or they were born into those six figures or those riches. They haven't really earned it on their own per se, and they have, because they're rich and they have more influence, they have found loopholes into making money faster with resources that the rest of us don't have, and they can get around other things set out by the government, and it's disgusting. Take a look at a lot of the billionaires in the world right now. Jeff Bezos, for example, he's worth $120 billion. I'm sorry, but you should be pumping a lot of that back into people who can use it. Like all of your Amazon employees that are underpaid, overworked, and have to work 12 to 16-hour days to make ends meet, all while you sit on your mountain of cash and want to take a rocket ship into space just for a joyride. This isn't right. This isn't what humanity is about. Greed is eternal. Greed is ruining everything. Unfortunately, a lot of these people who started off with nothing and have become super elite rich have not only forgotten their roots, but they're using their money and their power to step on everyone else to stay rich. Because, let's face it, none of those rich people with billions, well, maybe a few of them like Sir Richard Branson and Mark Cuban, I respect both of those guys. They're billionaires, but they actually respect people under them and they pay decently. But most of those rich people, almost all of them, they don't like you. They hate you. They're using you. They sit on their money piles daily while you work yourself to the bone for what? And a lot of people are going to complain when they hear me talking about this, because you're going to say, oh, well, if people worked harder and found opportunities, they'd be rich. In my own case, it's not from a lack of trying. I've been working since I was 16. I have two very simple dreams. One is owning a small 14-foot fishing boat, and one of them is maybe moving back to Toronto, where I was born. I will never be anywhere near achieving these dreams. I got close to my boat on 4 occasions only to have it snatched away from me. I've worked multiple jobs at points in my life. I've started side businesses. I've tried everything to make money. I've even on the stock market for the past few years, and that's tanking on me left and right on my portfolio. I've come up with any idea I can to generate extra income and maybe invest or turn it into something, but I just don't have the resources, and everything I do fails. Yet some of these rich people can snap their fingers and all of a sudden, hey, there's $100,000 lying around, there's $1 million lying around, and the people that are born into it are even worse. The sense of entitlement with a lot of these rich people, especially the ones that are born into it, is just almost incomprehensible. It's not right. You're not entitled to anything in this world, period. You have to earn it. And the sad fact is a lot of these millionaires and billionaires did not earn it. And they're picking the rest of our pockets so they can stay rich. Are we going to do something about this? Are we going to let them blind us with all these countless distractions in the world? Or are we going to fight back and unite and figure out, hey, we're getting ripped off. Why don't we do something about it? Instead, everyone's worried about partisan politics and race wars and climate change, which was created by the rich people to get more money out of you. These are all distractions to keep us from the disparity between the rich and the poor. If there wasn't a climate war and a race war, there would be a class war. And let me tell you, the rich people would lose that class war. Until we unite and turn it into a class war, we're not going to get anywhere. The rich people are still going to step on us. Period. It's not right. Have a great day, everybody.